Alright, worst freaking time for a video ever, but I'm gonna do my best to explain what am I doing in Ukraine. No, I'm not on the front line, even though there's a freaking air raid siren, looks like a war zone, I got a plate carrier on. Look, I'm an instructor. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I always loved instructing, especially Ukrainians. These guys are motivated as hell. And Trident Defense Initiative, the group I'm with, has been doing this for the last year. They've trained about 5,000 soldiers now. We're training about 110 for the next 2 weeks. And this is what Ukraine needs, all right? They don't need me on the fucking front line. They need these guys ready to go to the front line. And I'll tell you what, they're coming out the front line, they got stuff, they got questions, and we're here to go and help. Gonna be interviewing some of the instructors today, gonna be going around the different classes, taking some videos. I'll also talk to the commander and he'll be able to better describe what Trident Defense Initiative does, the kind of work they've been doing. I was able to interview some of the instructors as they were doing the training. Obviously, it's a very normal thing every week. Seems like we're doing some training. Yeah, I just wanted you to explain Trident Defense Initiative, what we're doing. Give us the background.
Trident Defense has been working now since the beginning of the war. Theoretically, you could say it's been working since before the war. I served 3 years as a Ukrainian Marine. I spent 2 years doing frontline operations and the anti-terrorist operations in the east of Ukraine, in the Donbass region. And then obviously when the war started, I was stuck in Bucha. My family, when the war broke out, and I was there until the Russians actually captured it, and I managed to get out on the green corridors through the Russians. Then afterwards, I basically set up Trident Defense Initiative. We've been working now, like I said, upwards to 10 months since the beginning of the war. We've currently trained around 5,300 soldiers. That's, on paper recorded what we've done. And that's in a variety of courses, primarily the infantry course, which is, as we both know.
Got some videos of that as well.
Yeah.
So right now we're working on squad attacks. We have support by fire position over here.
Yep.
And this is an assault element. We're working on getting them to bound forward. Pretty much the newest standard of bounding.
As we both know as infantry soldiers, covering those basic principles of squad level tactics, the tactical medicine.
Even platoon as well.
Even platoon, yeah.
We're up to that, right?
We're at the sizes where most of our courses now average between 80 to 100 students. That's just tactical. Yep. So that's very close, or it's at the numbers of a company. So we're training a company size element every 2 weeks, and then breaking them down into platoons and conducting platoon tactics. We cover the fundamentals of soldiering. So your tactical medicine, your squad tactics, weapon discipline, prisoner handling in line with the Geneva Convention. One thing that we try and do that the Russians aren't as prevalently doing, dealing with casualties the right way, and prisoners the right way. So we've been trying to teach them that Geneva Convention standard. And we're not trying to create our own standard, but we're just trying to influence a standard that brings them closer towards that NATO standard and professionalising the military. Our flagship program is our medical course.
What are you training them on right now?
We're doing tactical medicine, so we're teaching them tourniquets without vision.
Nice.
So they can do this if they have shrapnel or glass or blast or blood in their eyes.
I based it off I'd done a 4-month sort of platoon company medics course while I served in the Ukrainian army. That was taught by Canadian and Ukrainian instructors. And basically I try to compress that. We don't have 4 months, that's a ridiculous amount of time. You can't pull soldiers away for that long. And what I've managed to sort of negotiate and bring to the headquarters here is a 3-week course. And we've had around 500 soldiers graduate that over 10 months.
I think there's one going on right now.
There's one literally going right now for about 25 students. That runs once a month, so every month we will run one of those courses with a week break in between. And that covers everything. That goes up to your March, your CLS, your Teachable C, and then it also goes into intravenous systems. And we do something very unique. One of the many unique things that we do is we actually have access to a cadaver lab. So we use the morgue, so they actually get to do live tissue training, which is something that's very unique. Normally that's only reserved for people doing doctorates or high-level trauma people, but the students have that opportunity. So there's about 4 tests, a few written tests and also practical tests on that course. So it is a pass or fail course, whereas the infantry course is an attendance course. Including that, we also cover drone packages, heavy weapons carders. We just run one recently. You were with us, I think, on the range yet.
First day, yeah.
Yeah, rockets.
First day, fucking rockets.
Mortars, grenade machine guns, stuff like that. And that's our thing. All these courses are free. Very important. People watching at home. This isn't a business platform or anything like that. So they're free courses. They're provided for the Ukrainian military, for contracted soldiers of the Ukrainian military. We don't train volunteer units. We don't train civilians. We train the soldiers of the Ukrainian armed forces. And what's very important is Trident Defense Initiative. It's sort of in the name. The Trident is Ukrainian and it's a defense initiative. We're not necessarily training soldiers to you're going to go out and to kill Russians and stuff like that. is to defend the sovereign state of Ukraine.
And you described that to me day one of being here.
Yeah,
And the mission plan and what this is all about.
I see a lot of other people and, you know, foreigners and things like that say, you know, we need a lot of money to do this and we need a lot of things to do this. And you really don't. The students, as long as you can provide the students, you know, we're churning out hundreds a month. They want to be here, you know, and we're really filling a gap. One of the reasons I set this up was, you know, in the months running up to the war, obviously a lot of the American, British training missions, even Canadian as well, pulled their presence off the ground, and they left quite a big gap. We're trying to fill that gap and bringing in outside expertise and knowledge and giving it to these guys that desperately need it.
And I want to highlight the fact this is volunteer.
We work officially for the Ukrainian military.
Yep.
We're in line with the Ukrainian military, but this is a non-profit. We're obviously not an NGO, we're not a charity because, you know, the legal aspect and the morality of that, you know, we are a military-based training organisation, and we work officially with the Ukrainian military. We only work at the request of, you know, brigade or headquarters level command, colonels, generals, that sort of thing. So just look at what we do. Look at what groups like myself, and not just myself, other groups, charities. There's a you know, huge list of great organisations working out here, and Sivdiv will, you know, lay out links to our website and stuff like that, and our Instagram and social media. And, just go research what we do. And
yeah, please. I mean, you guys have probably already seen on my Instagram. I'm already posting that stuff. I'm sure many of you got the hint that I'm working for you guys now, but I'm here for the long run. This is something I'm very passionate about instructing. Yeah, no, you're going to see more content to come, either on the main channel or possibly a membership that will be starting pretty soon on the YouTube, where you can support us directly and support the students directly as well. As you can see, a lot of our money is going towards donations. So, got to hand out some headlamps to the guys. Red lights. Got about 30 of them in here. Gonna give them to my group at least. But again, these are all donations. These are all just, you know, stuff that we brought to go and help them.
I don't, you know, monetary value, I don't really work in monetary values, but, you know, at least a couple of $1 million worth of equipment TDI's handed out since the beginning of the war. It comes mostly medical equipment.
These guys are coming out the front line to go and do our training.
Piece of the building falling down. This has been hit before, as you can see, but due to the areas that we train in and the close proximity to the front line areas and the territory of Russia, so the students that we have now, they are coming about an hour and 15-minute drive every day to attend the course. So and at night they're on the front line doing guard duty, digging their trenches. Do you see any lack of motivation or tiredness or like, oh fuck this, I was on guard duty all night? Like we would be when we were in the army. You turn up, you know, you've got a training next day after guard duty, you'd be like son of a this. Yeah, I was on guard duty all last night, I haven't slept. These guys have been on guard duty all last night in an active conflict zone. You know,
and they're out here learning patrolling, they're out here learning, you know, fire and move and
see them in the background now running around, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Got a whole platoon going out doing some patrols right now after a whole night being the fucking front, getting driven here. It's gnarly what these guys are capable of and willing to do.
Big shout out, I'd say big shout out to my instructors, to my team, you know, you included, because you know, for me this is my home, you know, a long time, and I'm dedicated to the future of, you know, what I consider my home now. But for you guys, you know, you come over here after the 24th and, you know, giving up your time, risked your lives for a country that, you know, you have no emotional or long-term connection to, but it's something you believe in. I couldn't do this on my own. I couldn't do this, you know, with just random people. So the fact that people come here and risk their lives and support it, and people sat at home watching this, people like Sivdiv and, you know, the rest of my team out here, and they're doing these things with no pay.
This morning you got us gas, you know, you filled up the fucking tanks and stuff. And,
yeah, we're lucky to have some support to make those things happen.
But you're the one lining it up and stuff. And I also want to mention something that you mentioned, but we all knew, you know, there's no glory. There's not much glory attached to this sort of thing, but it's invaluable. And the Ukrainians know that, and we know that as well. And that's why you've been doing this for a year, I'm sure.
There's no guts and glory to it. It is training. It can be monotonous, but the value you get back for it, and I hate the term, but force multiplication. It's one of those cringy, no offense, American terms. But it is true. I said some of my instructors have been with me for 10 months. So they've trained over 5,000 troops during that 10 months. So they've improved the survivability. And there we get medics come back to us. Guys, your training literally saved our guys' lives.
Yeah. And that's the whole reason I came. After you guys posted that thing, and then there's even more like after that of like students messaging. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing as soon as I came back.
It's huge. Yeah. Well, mate, good to have you.
Thanks for the interview. And yeah, we'll be showing you guys some more training. So we're good. All right, cool. We're teaching camo and patrolling. Ending the day with this beautiful freaking Ukraine landscape. Beautiful day for training, and we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something about